it is Jo from Minerva, and today I'm here for the second part of my winter Savannah dress hack. The Savannah dress is a stretch pattern for stretch fabrics. It is a really easy cocoon shaped dress, easy to sew. It has inseam pockets, some beautiful seam lines creating a really nice cocoon shape. You can change the hem length, and I've been having a little play around with the pattern. In my previous video I've made a roll neck so that I can wear this dress through to winter, but I felt a roll neck was a little bit unusual if you had short sleeves, so I also went for a long sleeve hack, and that's what I'm going to show you today. The fabric that I'm using is a rib knit, so I finished my garment and you'll see me go back and make it. It's a rib knit, so it's got a little bit more stretch than other fabrics, so you might want to see if you need to size down. It's really warm and cozy. There are a few techniques in today's video for making sure that you don't get wavy or ripply hems. You can make your cuff finish however you want. I've done a little narrow cuff here. You could use ribbing because that will bring the sleeve in tighter if you want it to be tighter. You can put elastic through here. You can make this quite balloon shaped. It's up to you, but I just want to show you how to extend that shoulder and add on your lower sleeve. If you're new to the Savannah dress altogether and you want to see a full sew along of how to make it from start to finish, explaining all of the processes in the instructions, then you can check out Diane's video here. That's on our Minerva YouTube channel. She'll take you through from cutting out, applying the pockets and adding all of the details. If rib knit isn't your thing, or you're new to sewing stretch knits and you want an easier fabric to get you started, then you can check out Vicky's video here where she gives some fabric inspiration and some really good pattern matches to the fabrics that are on the Minerva website. I've cut out my Savannah and I'm going to make it all up. I'm going to make it all up to the stage where the shoulders are sewn but the sides aren't, and then I'm going to draft my lower sleeve. There's a little bit of a pattern change before you get to that stage. I'll just show you first of all how I extended that underarm seam. This is the sleeve shape that I added. Now this is my next Savannah, so I'm making a French terry one next because I'm sampling up lots of the pattern, but this was a good one to show because you can see the white paper and the darker fabric here underneath. So this is the original shape. It goes in and kicks out, and then you put the hemband on the end of there. But what I've wanted to achieve is a slight underarm curve. It makes what's called a dolman sleeve, and you can take that as long as you want. So you can extend this pattern line from the shoulder, you can extend it under the arm, and you can cut that however you want. Now that one is cut at this angle because this is for a short sleeve, but you will be taking this and extending it along here. So to get the initial part, you will come along here and adding this shape, and whatever you add here you need to make sure you put on your side back so that your neck to shoulder and neck to shoulder seam match up. I didn't do it on this one because I was trying to work it out, so I didn't want to film it if it was wrong. So I know that it works because I'm wearing it now, and then I thought the best way to show you was here because you can see the contrast between the white paper and the pattern piece. This one that I'm making here is for a short sleeve version, and that's in another video. But here, that is the shape that I added to my purple side front and purple side back. Okay, we've got all our bits cut out, so we're going to whiz through the first part of the instructions until we get to the stage where the shoulder seams are sewn. Once you've got it to this stage, you want to be putting it on, checking that your shoulder seam is running along your shoulder. I've taken my grown on sleeve to elbow length, but you could trim a little bit of that off. You could decide now, you could sort of play it more creative on the hoof as you're going along. You can pin the sides together so that you can get your side fit, and that might help to see if you've got enough fabric in the grown on sleeve. I'm going to add another piece here, and I'm going to use the dress laying down flat as a way to cut my next sleeve piece. Once you get up to that stage where you've got the shoulders sewn, you can then take your dress back to wherever you've cut out and draft a lower sleeve. You know, you're hacking here, so there might be changes to make along the way. So you might decide that you've added too much on your grown on sleeve and you want to take it up a little bit. You might want to have a real back wing shape and take that lower down. It's up to you. Once you've sewn your shoulder seam, you can then lie that down on a piece of paper, and you can continue the shape of your sleeve for long sleeves however you want. But if you can just see that grown on sleeve curve, you want to be working with that so that you get a harmonious undersleeve seam. From when you try it on, if at your try on you find where your shoulder point is, you'll then be able to measure down and get the correct length. I'm going to take my sleeves in today. I've done them with elastic cuffs before, casings, shearing, all sorts of things, but I'm going to put a little cuff on the bottom of here. I've got my centre point, so that's where I'll be matching back up to that seam. I now need to cut 2 sleeve pieces. I'm going to mark the centre of the sleeve so that I can match it up to the shoulder seam. With right sides together, pin the sleeve to that new sleeve edge that you've just created. If through your drafting you've just got any little seams that are running over, keep those all trimmed up nice and neat. You are hacking, of course, so there'll be little changes to make along the way. I'm going to put the second sleeve on. I've got a little notch there to help me to match up the shoulder seam. Put your fabric right sides together and you're going to sew up the side seam, but the key points to go for around this edge are the pocket seam. So you absolutely want to make sure that those sort of V shapes from the pocket line up exactly. Fabric's quite thick there, so I'm just using some clips. I'm keeping the pocket bag nice and flat. Then I'm going to look for the next key point, which is our new shoulder seam. So I need all of that to be nice and flat and matched up. And then we can sew this bit under the arm and pin all the way to the end. You're going to sew down from the cuff to the hem, and you're going to do the same on the other side, just making sure you're not stretching out your fabric if you're using a stretch fabric, especially a rib. Once you've got your sleeves on, you then need to make your little cuff bands, sew those up, try them over your hand first. I've got a rib knit, so mine's quite a loose fitting one. You could have got that a little bit tighter if you wanted, even with rib fabric. So let's take a look at making the cuffs. You'll need 2 strips of fabric cut on the direction of greatest stretch, twice the width that you'd like your cuff, and you're going to sew down the side to make 2 complete rings. Fold your cuffs in half, make sure you've got the seams nice and flat, keep them opened out so you don't get a bulky bit at your wrist, and clip the 2 sides together. These are wrong sides together. You're going to do that with 2 cuffs. You're now going to join the cuffs to the bottom of your sleeves. They should be smaller than the circumference of your sleeves, and you might need to stretch them a little bit or make alterations. Time to hem your dress. I've overlocked the edge of mine, and because it's a rib knit, I'm using some hemming web. It's a double-sided light interfacing that I've stuck between the layers of the hem, and it stops the ribs from stretching out. Here's the rib hem. It's still got a little bit of stretch to go over our head, but it's nice and neat and it hasn't pulled out of shape. It's not wavy or ripply. That's the hem finished. Other fabrics you might want to do this hack with are a French terry, because you'll be getting that sort of coziness. A Ponte Roma will also work for this. A Ponte Roma isn't as stretchy as this rib knit, so just be careful that you make sure that you get that to go over your hand. And also a scuba fabric, that's a thick Ponte, it's sort of like a Ponte Roma, it's a little bit thicker, a little bit spongier. It comes in different weights, so you can certainly make that a thicker dress, and it also comes in lighter weights as well. So a French terry, a scuba and a Ponte Roma will also make a Savannah dress in a winter version. Thank you very much for watching today. I hope that's helped. It certainly works really well with the roll neck hack, so that you've got a full-on winter dress. Underneath here I've got a long sleeve base layer, like a thermal layer, and I'm wearing leggings, so I feel like I've already got one cozy layer, and then I can put my dressed up layer on top. If you've made the Savannah dress, we would love to see what fabrics you have chosen, so do make an account, share your makes over at Minerva and inspire the Minerva community. Over there you can also join our craft club, where you will receive discounts and offers throughout the year. If you'd like more sewing content, you can head over to the Minerva channel or over to our Minerva feed, where you'll get lots of sewing inspiration. There are pattern pairings, sew alongs, learn to sew videos, different ways to hack patterns. There's lots and lots to help you choose your next project or move on to the next level. I'm going to be taking a few more looks at the Savannah dress, so do check in for those too. Thank you very much. Do call again soon.